Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing really well. So today I'm going to be doing my in-depth, detailed January favourites. I did post a summarised version of this on Reels and you all said no, that's not good enough. We want a full YouTube video. So that's what I'm going to do today. Shut my window because the birds are so loud. Is that seaside life for you? Lots of new makeup bits, skincare bits, loads of books this month. Weirdly, I feel like I've been reading a lot more than usual. So let's get into it. But all the beauty bits I want to talk about in this makeup bag because this bag deserves an honourable mention. I've spoken about these bags quite a bit. These are the Vive makeup bags, but this is the mini version. I cannot believe the amount of makeup that you can get in this bag. I've been travelling with this. I've gone on 2 flights this month and I've just taken this with all of my makeup in it. There is not a thing that I don't love about this makeup bag. I love how much you can get in it. You then zip it and everything just holds. When you put it out on the sides to do your makeup, it's got like 2 sections, a zippy bit, zippy pockets on the side. When I'm traveling, I'll usually put face products on one side, eye and lip on the other side. And then when I get to do my makeup, it just kind of sits perfectly. I was obsessed with the bigger size. And then as soon as I got this mini one, I was just like blown out the water. I have put my products in here today that I want to talk about. First things first, while we are on the topic of Vive, I could not do a January favourites without mentioning this. This is the brand new launch from Vive, Super Skin Nova. I've got it on today. I've had it on every single day since it launched. As soon as I saw this product, I just thought there's absolutely no way on earth that I'm not going to love this. It ticks every single box for me for a kind of primer base product. I'm a sucker for a really versatile product as well, and I feel like I will get a million uses out of it. Wear it on its own, can wear it under makeup, can mix it with things. I want to give it a try like mixing it with a concealer to just sheer out concealer and give you this amazing glow. I think the texture of it would work really nicely with a concealer. It's not too thin, so I don't think it would like, you know, I think it would hold everything together. I think the textures would work really nicely together. So I'm definitely going to give that a try. I've been loving it for just a base underneath my makeup. I've been using it on days where I don't want to wear any makeup and I just want to brighten my skin up. It just gives you that real like glow from within. You know, when you're on holiday and you've been in the sun all day and your skin just looks different. Like it just has this warmth, this glow about it. I feel like this is literally it in a jar. This has been coming everywhere with me this month. It is just stunning. Next up on kind of base skin products. This is one I've fallen back in love with recently. This is the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops. These I've been loving since I got back from Australia. I think I mentioned that just like as soon as I got home, I felt like all that sun and glow was just leaving my skin. I already had these. I used these quite a bit last summer and I've been using them pretty much every single day. I've actually been preferring these over like a powder bronzer recently. Sometimes I'll use these and then set them with the Giorgio Armani bronzer that I love because it's got that same glow to it. So I feel like they work perfectly together. But day to day, I've actually been loving the Vive product, this, and a bit of concealer, and sometimes a bit of blush. And it just makes your skin look perfect. 30ml, but I'm just not getting through it. I feel like there's still so much left in it. These are just incredible. I think they were selling out constantly when they first came out, and I feel like I do now fully understand the hype because I'm in love with them. Next up, we've got a brand new skin launch, which I think, again, I may have accidentally leaked this to some people. I seem to do a lot of that recently, but people never make it clear when things are actually coming out and when I'm allowed to talk about things, so I don't know, I'm building a hype. What can I say? Brand new from Makeup Forever. As you know, I love Makeup Forever. They were one of the first high-end brands that I bought from. I was just obsessed with them when I was first into makeup. And I feel like they're one of those brands, they're pretty low-key, but they're kind of always doing something cool, something kind of innovative, something that people want. I feel like they're a very makeup artist-led brand, which I love. And this is the new launch. This is the Super Boost Perfecting Moisture Boosting Skin Tint. So the packaging is really cool. It's got this almost sort of like accordion Billy Joel vibe. Either like squeeze that or I've actually learned just squeezing it does work. But I was like, am I supposed to be doing something with this? I don't know. I've got the shade 05. I've got it on today. I've been loving it as an everyday skin tint. I barely reach for an actual foundation nowadays. I'm kind of a skin tint girl through and through. And this is just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. The texture of it is beautiful. It's almost got a kind of gel feeling to it. Really lightweight on the skin, doesn't feel like you've got any product on there. This with a bit of concealer is just the perfect base for me at the moment. It's gorgeous, enough coverage, buildable, really lightweight, super hydrating. Makeup Forever skin products are incredible. Like the HD foundation is beautiful as well. I love the palettes from them with like all the bronzers, blushes in them. They do a base product very, very well. So, and I do feel like Makeup Forever is a little bit of a niche brand. I think if you're really into sort of makeup artistry, it's a big thing, but I don't know if mainstream it's such a massive thing. And I feel like they deserve the flowers because especially this one is incredible. I think this will be a product that does very well for them. This is really, really great. If you're a skin tint girl, you will love this. Next up, we have got a brand new launch from Natasha Denona, also a brand that I am obsessed with. I love everything that she does. These are the new blushes. This is the shade I've been using the most. This is the High Blush in Simply Shy Cloudy Cream Cheek Duo. So you've got the cream blush on one side and this super glowy, beautiful powder highlight on this side. I actually do feel this is going to be the year that bronzer may be out, and I think blushy highlights, all of that, I think it's coming in. I think it's happening. Completely changes the way that you do your makeup when you take one product out. Like I have tried doing my makeup with no bronzer before. I think when I did my sort of like ballet core makeup, that was the kind of vibe, and immediately you feel really like pink and pretty and flushed and young. So I think that will be a trend that we'll see quite a lot this year, is kind of like these sort of blushy, highlighty, very ballerina kind of core. This is so my kind of blush shade. This has got me written all over it, kind of peachy, nudie, not too pink. Perfect. I've got this on today. I've been using the cream blush, and then I've put a little bit of this highlight, but let me just pat a bit on. This is literally insane. Natasha Denona highlights are mental, to be fair. As soon as you do like a pink highlight over a gold, you just feel really pretty. It's a very like pretty, soft, just beautiful. The formulas of these are gorgeous as well, and I love the packaging. It feels really like 90s and cute. I need to try and expand my blush shades and try some of the others, because the other shades are stunning. But this is just the one that I've been reaching for the most. A couple of bits for makeup. This is a lip combination that I have worn pretty much every single day this month. We have got Vive lip liner in Bark. Fell back in love with this liner when I was in Scotland with Vive this month. Lip liners are one of those things. I've got about 100, probably 200 lip liners. They are just absolutely everywhere. They're all in my, have random lip liners in my bags everywhere. Sometimes I'll put one in a bag and I will never see it again. They're just like the never ending abyss of lip liners. This is one that I used to really love. Aphrodite from Vive as well. I was obsessed with that when it first came out. Yeah, I feel like I've always got new products coming in. I'm always trying new things, and sometimes I forget about products that I used to really love. Used this again on the trip and just been using it ever since. It is the perfect brownie nude. It's warm enough without being too red. Perfect kind of brown 90s vibe lip liner. Love it. The formulas of these are beautiful as well. They're really creamy. They blend, but once they're set, they're set. They're not going anywhere. And then sweet, sweet girl needs a mention. This was such a happy day for me when I got the email about MAC relaunching their nudes collection. This is Yash, which was my shit back in the day. Like Yash, Honey Love, which I know they carried on doing, but for some reason they got rid of some of the iconic nude shades, Yash included. Flesh Pot they've brought back. It's such a moment for the MAC girls. I've got this on today. I just think it is the best nude lip colour ever. It's just perfect. I feel you will always find your way back home, and you will always find your way back to a MAC nude lipstick. So this and this, my lip combo of the month. I'm so happy to have this back. I actually want to buy like 10 of them just in case MAC try any funny business again. I need to get Flesh Pot as well. I actually love a kind of concealer looking lip. Shoot me, I don't care. I love like Donatella Versace makeup, super black eyes, really light lip. Love it. They are my beauty favourites of the month. Now, going on to books. Like I say, I've got 5 books to talk about. One of them is a really short story, and then another was like a chapter a day one. So I've been kind of reading a few books alongside each other. And one is that I started yesterday, and that's technically still January. So I can do this in order that I read them. So first up, we have got Hope by Niall Harbison. My mum bought me this for Christmas. So January last year, we were in Thailand. When we were in Koh Samui, we heard a lot about this guy. And actually a couple that we met in Thailand were adopting a dog from him. So we kind of got to hear about him then. I followed him on Instagram, and his posts just make me smile so much and occasionally bawl my eyes out like a baby. I absolutely love this book. I've just seen that he's bringing out another book in May, I think, about the dog that kind of started it all. And I will read that and I will cry again. It's a very warm, comforting, cozy read. I actually love the bit about his life story at the beginning, because I didn't really know kind of how he'd got, I think I spoke about this in a few videos ago, about kind of like purpose and hope, and he was kind of chasing something that wasn't real, didn't exist, was really unhappy in life, and then he's kind of found his purpose in doing something like this. And I just think it's a really beautiful book. I think everybody would love it, even if you don't like dogs, which is weird, which is so weird, by the way. Actually, you probably wouldn't like it if you don't like dogs, but if you don't like dogs, what do you like? A very lovely book. The next book that I read was Han Kang, The Vegetarian. So my auntie bought me this one for Christmas. She always buys me the best books. She'll always buy me like 3 or 4 books for my birthday or Christmas, and they're always really cool ones that I've never heard of, never seen. I think you get quite stuck reading sort of like mainstream books, or I look on Goodreads and a lot of the time it's the same kind of books coming up. I can always rely on her to kind of shake up the books that I'm reading, which I absolutely love. She did say to me, this is a bit of a roller coaster. I don't know if you'll like it or not, but I absolutely loved it. Anything that says terrifying and terrific on the front, like I'm there, I'm sold. Actually such a beautiful book. I think the imagery of it is stunning. A girl that I work with has also read this, and I was so happy to have someone to discuss it with, because I feel like you can't even really explain it until you've read it. It's just such a bizarre book. It was definitely one of those I did a deep dive when I'd finished it. I love to do that when I finish a book, read like every theory about it, every explanation different people pulled from it, because I think sometimes you kind of miss little bits, and I think where it's a translation as well, sometimes there's bits that you're like, oh, I didn't even read it in that way. Some bits are kind of out there, but they are gorgeous. Like even the way that the really weird scenes are written are just beautiful. I would love this to be made into a short film. I think it would be absolutely stunning in like the most disgusting way, which is my favourite genre. So really cool read. I definitely recommend this. It's quite a short story anyway. It's 183 pages, so quite a quick one. I think I flew through this. Chapter 2 was where things started to get pretty weird, and I think I just sat up all night reading it. I love the cover so much. I think that's probably one of my favourite book covers ever. It is beautiful. I would buy it for that alone. Next up, this is the book that I was talking about reading every day. You read a chapter a day. I did this all through January. Started at January 1st, and I loved it. My boyfriend had bought me this for my birthday last year. I wouldn't really say I'm a massive like self-help non-fiction reader, just because I like to kind of feel something when I read. I like an autobiography or like a story, but these for me are like boy books. Like, you know, when you go to a boy's house and what is it, Psychology of Money, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, I love The Wolf of Wall Street, you know, like that's kind of how it feels to me. I'm being cynical. I actually love this book so much. I hate this. Like, I'm sorry to say, it's quite obvious that I would probably hate this. But I think what I love about this is the way that he writes and his approach to the kind of big life question. I think in my mind, I'm like, is any book really going to change my life? Am I going to read anything and it's going to just like put all my worries aside? But I think I've learnt now it's kind of more gaining the tools and like small subconscious things, and also comfort. Like I found this quite comforting to read, because a lot of the things he's talking about are things that you kind of assume that nobody else is going through, and of course everybody in the world is kind of going through the same things. Like it's rarely an original thought, to be honest. I actually love his almost kind of like cynical approach to life. I just find that way more realistic. That's more kind of information that I'm likely to take on and actually implement, rather than like, life is beautiful, look back on what you've got, like amazing, fab, but actually day to day I feel like applying that isn't that helpful. Kind of saying like, you will never have the answers to these questions. There is never a right time to do anything in life. You can arm yourself as best as possible to deal with things that come your way. Perfect for me, like ideal book. So if you are an overthinker, if you're a worrier, if you get overwhelmed easily, if you just wish that you could kind of approach things in a calmer, more kind of compartmentalized way, I guess, because that's how I feel like this really helped me. And I loved the one chapter a day. It kind of became a ritual. Like I would get in bed, read this chapter. Each one is like 4 or 5 pages max, so really easy to read. And then I would go on to my non-fiction book, and I kind of felt like it just balanced it. It gave me a little something. I felt like I was doing something productive. Really great book. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that. Then went on to read Patti Smith, Just Kids. This has been on my to-be-read pile for the longest time. The guys at DKNY actually gave me this when I did their New York pop-up library. They had very cult classic books there. I'd kind of seen this before, but I think probably in the UK it's not as big of a thing as it was in New York. Immediately like top 5 books I've ever read. I love it. I will definitely read this again at some point. I just found it so beautiful. You can tell reading this, she is just an artist. Like the way that she writes everything is so beautiful without being like overkill. There's just like little things that she describes. I feel like I can picture everything through this. Like you feel like you're in like New York, you feel like it's the 80s, that you can see everything. I love that there's like the odd picture throughout it. Isn't that just the dream? Pictures are so cool. Anytime it gets to a page with a picture, I'm like, yeah, give it to me, Rachel. Their relationship was actually a really short period in their lives, but I think it was very like pivotal for both of them. So it's pretty heavy in parts. There's like a lot going on, but the kind of general like climate and vibe of it is just so cool. It's one of those, I don't think you'd actually have to know anything about her. I wouldn't necessarily read it as an autobiography. I think I read it more as like a fiction book, to be honest. It's just a really beautiful story about 2 people, struggling artists, going their own ways, creativity, kind of finding yourself, being in love with somebody but it not being the right thing. It's just a lot of really beautiful messaging throughout it. I don't think it's necessarily like an autobiography of her life and you need to understand anything about her. It's really sad though. It did make me cry a little bit, but most things make me cry a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love this book. One of my favourites that I've ever read by far. Last one for books. I started reading this 2 days ago on my flight home. I haven't actually seen many people read this. I saw one girl that I follow on Instagram who's like super cool. I've tattooed her before and I know her. And for me, like anything she posts, I'm just like, okay, it must be cool. Saw her reading this and I was like, yeah, okay. Sold. It's Gods and Kings by Dana Thomas. It's the rise and fall of Alexander McQueen and John Galliano. So it kind of follows, I'm only like 80 pages in, so I feel like I haven't got quite to the nitty gritty of it yet. There are some pictures as well here I can see, but I don't like to peek too soon. I feel like I know quite a lot about Alexander McQueen, one of my favourite designers. I watched a lot of documentaries, basically any film about him ever I've seen. John Galliano I don't know a great deal about. The first chapter of this book is just like straight in. Reading it I was like, this cannot be either of them. I kind of thought this won't be Alexander McQueen, but if you read it, you will know what I mean. But I was like, there's no way this is either of them that's done that. And it goes straight in. I can feel of it quite far as it's quite like a confronting version of events. I think quite often it's like amazing designers, incredible, great clothes, very kind of superficial telling of a designer. And most of the time there is so much darker shit going on. And I kind of love that this just feels like it's all that. Love it. They're not holding back. They're going in all the nitty gritty. Not holding anything, not trying to glorify or like arsenic anybody. It's super like, this is what happened. This is an honest retelling of these people. Were they the best people in the world? Definitely not. But I like to read things like that. I think it's really easy to have like a biased opinion of things just from what you kind of pick up. I like the darkness. I like the grit. I like to know everything. So I think I'm going to really love this. I'm really enjoying it so far. But I had to mention that because I did technically start it in January and it's really good. Now I've got a couple of more sort of miscellaneous bits. These headphones I have had since last summer and I'm obsessed with them. And I don't think I've actually ever really spoken about them. But I was thinking when I was wearing them the other day, God, I love these headphones. These are the Sonos Ace. They are perfect. I do have the AirPod Max and I way prefer these. I never ever use the AirPods. They're just way too big. I feel like they should do different sizes of that thing because I feel like, first of all, they look ridiculous on me. Second of all, I must be losing some kind of sound because like my ear is taking up like that much of it. And I actually find that they give me a really bad headache. I don't know if it's because they're like here and there's some sort of, I mean, I do have TMJ anyway, so I do feel like my jaw is quite sensitive, but I don't know if there's something about like the vibrations that are happening. It just feels like it's going in my jaw and I get a really bad migraine when I wear them. So I probably will sell them or give them to somebody. When I got these, I was like, these are perfect. I just love the size of these. Like, look, much better. They just like cup my ear. They're really comfortable to wear. This bit's really squishy and nice. The sound is great. I just love them. Much more compact as well to travel with. They're really light. They're not too bulky. And obviously they turn like this as well. So you can lay them flat. I think they're really, really great. Next up, I have got my journal from the Head Plan. They very kindly gifted us these on the Vive trip. So we did like a little journaling session with Jade, who I love her. I want to be around her all the time. Like she makes me feel so calm and peaceful and she's just beautiful. But we did a little journaling session with her in the morning, which was really helpful. They gave us all one of these and I feel like this is such a big girl, mature thing to have. I've got my little property listing in here of a flat that I am hoping to buy, if everything goes well. I'm using it almost as like a mood board manifestation sort of thing. I don't know. Apparently it does something. Diary in here, and then you kind of buy these like different inserts. My mum was like, that's basically file effects then. I was like, I don't know what that is because I wasn't born. So these are the notes pages and I've been trying, I've not been doing it every day, I've just been doing it kind of as and when. Just writing some little things in just of like how I'm feeling. I don't know if I'll ever look back on it or if it will be helpful in any way. I actually enjoy just physically writing. Like I don't feel like I actually write at all in life and I really, really enjoy just physically writing. When I was little I used to just write out like sentences of things, or like I would write out song lyrics just to be writing, which is quite weird actually. I really enjoy just writing. I think I like using my hands. I like being creative. I feel like I don't get to be super creative anymore, like physically. So yeah, even if I'm writing shit, I just like writing. Goals section in this, which I haven't actually really looked at very much, but it's got more sort of like work pages kind of things in it. But these are really beautiful, really cool, female owned brand. I just love these. You can get them in loads of different colours. They do ones that aren't like as chunky and leather, but something about this makes me feel like a businesswoman. It makes me feel like I'm in like the 80s. I've got an office job, you know. And all the men treat me like shit, but they don't understand I'm actually way smarter than any of them. You know, like Nancy in Stranger Things. It's like, that's like a serious thing to own. I think once you own that, you're serious. I'm so serious. Last but not least, we have got some skincare, hair care, body care products. First thing, I've got 2 hair care products. I obviously stripped and bleached my hair not long ago. It looks kind of dark because I've got gel in it, but I am trying to get it back to my natural colour. And my roots are kind of coming through and they're pretty close. It's not far off. I think we'll probably have to bleach it once more, so I'm trying to just really look after my hair and get it in like a really good condition. Been upping the hair care, using everything, throwing the kitchen sink at the hydration. This is a product that I have been loving. This is by Salt Air. This is the hair oil rich for medium to thick hair. They also do a fine, a lighter one, but I need this. I need the thick, I need the rich, I need all of it. Using this on dry hair, like after I style it, pretty much every day I'll oil my hair. I have naturally quite dry frizzy hair, so it often looks damaged even though it's actually in really great condition. I always prefer my hair when it's a bit greasier. When it's too fresh and washed, it's just really fluffy and frizzy and it's just a little bit out of control. So something like this is really good to just kind of like weigh it down. It just makes everything look a little bit more hydrated. I've been loving that. I really like the packaging as well. I think it's really cute. And then these I got in a little set for Christmas. There's actually 3 different pots, but these are the Rehab Matcha Scalp Oil. So these are matcha castor oil, rosemary oil, but they're in like little tabs, so they're so good for traveling. I actually get a lot in one of these little things, so I'll take these away with me. There's also like a finishing oil, and I can't remember what the other one is, maybe just like a heavier hair oil, but they are so good for traveling. Like when I'm going away, I just take hand luggage. I'm not going to put something like this in it, and then I feel like my hair kind of like suffers a bit when I'm away. The best idea, especially when I'm like traveling home from somewhere, I'll usually just like chuck loads of oil on my hair, put a hat on, and I think I'll deal with that when I'm home. It's so good. I actually really love the oil in here as well. I'm intrigued if they sell like a full-size bottle of it, because I would definitely buy it. I really like it. Very into a scalp oil. You know, I love the Way one very much, but when I'm going away, this is perfect. Next up, we've got a brand new launch from Kiehl's. I just got back 2 days ago from skiing in Austria with them. I did no skiing, which I think was a very sensible decision on their part. I think they looked at a few of us and were like, no, we're not putting you on ice, which I think was sensible. To be in the vibes, which I'm very into. I prefer the vibes to actually throwing myself down an icy hill. This is their brand new launch. This is the Ultra Body Mega Moisture Squalane cream. Why did that sound weird when I said it? This is like a really richly moisturizing, it's kind of like the Ultra Facial cream from them, but like a big body version. It's just perfect. This is the kind of body cream that I like. No frills. Every time I moisturize, I'm like, God, my tattoos look so nice. I should do that more. No scent. Just a good, thick, heavy moisturizer. I used this the other night at the dinner in Austria. And by the end of the night, like one of the girls said to me, like, what have you got on your legs? Like your skin looks really nice. And it was literally just this. It still felt like it had moisturizer on it. Like usually, especially my legs, I think this time of year, they're just so dry and they just like give me all the hydration. But this had kind of like soaked in and then just like created this really nice, even your skin just looks alive, which is a nice touch. My skin looked really nice. It looked really juicy. Like in all the pictures, my legs look really good and I didn't have any glow on them or anything. This is the perfect kind of body moisturizer for this time of year as well. Get out of the shower, put this on, just let it soak in overnight. This is a real dry skin, winter skin kind of savior. I feel like I will get a lot of use out of it. I like how big the tub is as well. This is 250 ml. And yeah, it says tested in intense conditions. This is like a big thing Kiehl's are doing. This is why they took us all skiing. They've been testing their products in like a group of people who climbed Everest. They've been testing them in like adverse snow, cold weather. I just think we were all using the products and then going out in the snow and in the sun all day. I think that's a really cool way to test products because that's when your skin suffers the most. It's going like hot to cold, cold air, snow, all that kind of thing. I mean, I don't really get much snow here, but yeah, I always find like the hot to cold is what fucks my skin up so much. So when something's been tested for that, great news. And you can kind of feel that this is really richly moisturizing. It just does good for your skin, and that's that. And that's all I want. Next up, I've got a fragrance that I've been loving. This is from Lush. This is the Chelsea Morning. This is a sweet, sunny and buttery perfume that will stick to your senses like butterscotch. It's the most, I just love it so much. Every time I spray it, I feel like I smell a different thing in it. Like it almost has this like salted caramel kind of smell. And then sometimes I can smell like an almost lemon sherbet sort of thing, which I don't know if it has that. Oh, it does have lemon in it. Okay, that does make sense. Yeah, it's like vanilla, lemon. The rest of these are like proper ingredients, not the like, what they called? Layers, whatever. Just smells amazing. I've actually been using it more as my like at home fragrance. I like my room to smell like this. I like to smell like this when I'm at home. It's like a really cozy, warm scent. It says it was invented in 2024, so it is quite a new one from Lush. I was intrigued why I'd never seen this before or smelt it because it's gorgeous. If this was in a candle as well, I would die. Like I would actually die for a candle of this. It is the most delicious, warm, cozy, homely scent. Just, ugh, I love it so much. I'm gonna spray it again. Last couple of bits, I have got a brand new launch from Estrid. As you know, they are my favourite razors ever. I also love their body care products. They've just launched a refillable deodorant. I've been in the market for a good deodorant for the longest time. I feel like my prayers have finally been answered. Every single one that I have used recently, just the worst white marks. I wear black all the time. Loads of my clothes actually when I was skiing were just covered in this deodorant that I was trying. I was like, oh my God, when does it end? Got home to this. They're really good at making sort of like mundane things beautiful. Like that is just a gorgeous packaging. I've got the pink scent in here. I can't exactly remember what it's called, but I'll put it on here. There's 3 refillables. So what you do is you take this out, unscrew the little roll-on ball. This bottom bit comes out and you take the refill out and you can change it to whatever scent. There's 3 scents. One of them was a bit more like a powdery laundry scent and one was a bit more green florally, but this one is quite like a fresh in between the two, which I really like. It's a really nice lightweight liquid texture. It doesn't clump up or give you those like clogged pores that are just the worst pain imaginable. Haven't had any of that with this because it's such like a fine, thin texture. Smells amazing. They're all lightly scented, but nothing like overpowering. No white marks, which is my main selling point because that was driving me mad. Just a really great new launch. Very simple, does what it says on the tin. That's what I'm all about nowadays. It's just good products that work. Estrada are a brand that I really love. They will never let me down. Everything that they launch, I love. Last but not least, I've got one skincare product that I have been loving. This is from Glowy. I got some of their products through just after Christmas, so I've been using them quite a lot throughout January. This is my favourite. This is the Before Noon Glazing Pro Collagen Milk. The packaging, first of all, like, are you insane? It's all got these little grooves in it, so like they feel really nice to hold. It looks like really cute, like toy, really fun packaging. I just love the branding. It's all so cool. This little round lid. So this has actually replaced my Rhode glazing milk, which is insane because I love that product so much. But it's just slightly thicker. It's not sticky, but it just feels, I find it just slightly more hydrating just because it's a bit of a thicker texture. Doesn't really smell of anything, quite unscented, which is nice. I love to just pat this into my skin after I've cleansed. My skin just drinks it up. I always notice the difference when I use this or don't. This is something that I feel like was missing from my skincare routine. I feel like I've had really good moisturizers, really good cleansers, but I feel like I was always missing that kind of in-between extra boost of hydration before I lock it all in, and this has just been so good for that. Especially in winter when my skin's feeling a little bit dry, it is drinking this up. It absolutely loves it. And yeah, they're a brand I'm really excited about. I really hope that they are going to branch out and be in some UK retailers soon. Based in France, so I'm really hoping that they'll maybe come into Sephora or something. It would be really great to see them go mainstream because I just think it's an incredible brand. You can tell there's so much love behind it. All the products are just beautiful. The branding, oh my god. Like, I went on their website to find the product names when I was linking things. I was on there for so long. Like, every single shoot that they've done is just stunning. Like, the whole vibe of the brand I'm just in love with. That is a skincare product that I have been loving in January. And there we go. I think that is everything. I feel like that was a really good month. January has really hit the ground running. I'm very excited. If the rest of the year is going to go at this rate, it's going well. As always, all the products that I've mentioned will be linked in the description box down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching this, and thank you for being here as always. Hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're doing, and I will see you very soon. Love you.